Welcome to the E-Show with Neil Ravin. With over 1,000 NCAA commitments, the EHL is the proven path to college. Turn it up and learn more about the college placement leader at the Division II and III levels.
Welcome into the E-Show once again. My name is Neil Ravin. This is Season 1, Episode number 11, brought to you by Gel Sticks, the official training aid of the E-Show. Let's bring in the E-Crew, second podcast of the week, guys. We are one day into the playoffs. Not sure about you, but I'm already tired.
Listen, this is the earliest we've recorded, too. Like, we're really rallying folks at home. It is 8:32 a.m. Rise and shine. It is podcast time.
We've all been texting since around 7:30, burning that midnight oil because we love the EHL, and we're here bringing all the fans at home some entertainment.
And like I was saying to you guys the other day, is one of you about to get arrested? I see her in the background.
Oh,
That's a fire truck.
Okay.
Someone just
It'd be a
got a
hot
car
start to the
accident
podcast. All right, so we lost one of the three of us. We'll move.
And guys, see you later. I gotta go for a little bit.
God, awful.
But when we began the playoffs, 32 teams went down to 25. In just one day, we lost three more. And it's kind of the bittersweet time of year for me this time of year because we're down to 22 teams already, and you get to know the coaches so well throughout the year that you see a game happen and you're happy for one team, but obviously, sad for the other. And it's just funny how quickly the number of teams will just go down and down and down throughout the league. And hey, in a week from now, that 22 will be basically cut in half when we get to the second round.
That's like crazy. I feel like at this time of year, it's like boom, boom, boom. Before you know it, it's like, hi, welcome to Providence. Here we are. Wait, how did we get here? Yesterday we were okay. And I don't know.
Like, Brittany, you texted me yesterday how you felt bad for Cody. I'm sure.
Oh my God, I was like emo as heck.
Like, the Express were one of the best teams down the stretch.
One of the hottest teams.
You should have seen them. You should have seen them at the end. They were like Pat McDonald just broke his stick and everyone was wicked sad. And I was like, oh my God, this is like sad.
I mean, some of those guys, that's going to be their last hockey game that they ever play in their career. Some of these guys, That's it. This is the end of their junior career. They're not going to go play in college. They're just going to hang it up. And Cody in his first season, taking over for Walpole, like you just said, Neil. And we profiled them on our preview play-in episode. 10-5 after the holiday break. They were one of the hottest teams. Everybody had them. We go back to the standings, and then I'm sure Cody, I hope he's not doing this today, but I'm sure he is as a coach, 1 point away from finishing in fourth instead of fifth. You don't play in the play-in game, so you think, oh, where was that overtime loss during the season? Or, oh, where was that lead we blew? And I'm sure that's things that players were thinking yesterday too, is we were so close to not even having to play in this game that we play in it. We didn't play our best, but a credit to Coach Trider and the inaugural season for the Seacoast Spartans, the 8th seed, knocking off the big dog Walpole Express. Good for them.
And that's a great way for us to start making our way, I'm going to say around the E-Show, but it's really around the play-in round.
It's time for this week's segment of Around the E-Show.
And yesterday was wild. That was the first game. That was 1 o'clock. That's how you set the tone for the entire postseason.
Legit.
It
was crazy.
And Brittany, you were there.
Yes, I was there. I was with, because if you, in Rodman, you can go upstairs, and that's where, the gym is, where, the kids on Walpole that are not playing, and, oh, man, they were going crazy up there. It was a scene.
Yeah, and
it was crazy. Trider and Kurt, it was, intense. Because it was, back and forth for a little bit, and then it was, legit. I think it was the last 2 minutes and Walpole was down, and I was like, all right, any second now Cody was gonna, pull Falcon, and then there was a penalty, and then Walpole was on the PK, and it's like, oh, you can't, there's no, you can't. And then he did, but they scored an empty net. It was intense. I felt so bad. Oh my goodness.
But the tweet that I sent out, I'm sure you probably saw the tweet. The empty net went in with 2 seconds left. So to me,
legit, it was
it's kind of irrelevant.
Right, it was definitely irrelevant. Sorry.
The three games were all decided by 1 goal. You can't.
Hey, that's how it should be, though.
Can't ask for much more than that. And Noah Kimo scored first, and it looked for a little bit like, all right, this is what we expected. We expected the Walpole to go in.
It was a bomb goal.
Yeah,
it was sick.
Take care of business and win this game. And Seacoast kind of just hung around, and then, well, I know Jeff and I, we've talked on broadcast before. Every game is different. With hockey, there's so many things that, when Seacoast scores a minute into the third period, you're like, oh, here we go. And then Walpole hits the post. You're like, you know what? That's how this is going to be. Like, you just kind of know, like, from past experience, like, that's how it's going to play out. That's going to be the post and that they hit. And then you mentioned, like, for most of Cody's players that are advancing on, there are more games coming up, but that's their last junior game. Look at the way Brittany, I'm sure you were watching. Look at the way DJ Swanky reacted when his season ended. He just sat there on the ice.
Right. That was a few kids did that for Walpole too. And some of the Walpole kids have been playing just like the Wolves kids have been playing together for like years and years and years. Like Mike Meredith, Nate Altman, like who else played Walpole? Cal Mel. There's like a whole handful of them who have been in the Walpole Express organization for like a few years now. Then it's like it comes down and like that's it. That's how you end it. Like, dang.
And that's why a lot of these coaches know. I mean, we talked about that in the play-in episode too. Rich DiCaprio was always making posts on his social media, and what he said is true. What you did in the regular season doesn't matter anymore. You're 0, 0, and 0 when you head into the playoffs. You saw that yesterday with Walpole and Seacoast. There's nothing from the regular season matters anymore. Look at, and they were literally two different teams. We profiled it in that episode. Seacoast went on a really bad losing streak. They were 4-17 after the holiday break. They were playing their better hockey before the holiday break, not after. And Walpole was the opposite. They were playing their better hockey after the holiday break. And Walpole beat them 3-1 in the season and outscored them 16-4. And it was all.
It's
Walpole.
like, when do you want to heat up?
Right, and then like Neil said too, it's kind of like puck luck and the hockey gods. Like, you can only beat someone so many times before they're eventually going to figure it out. Especially, with some gritty players, the Flanagans of the world and Jackson Penners, and give it to those guys. They are a grinding team, and they grinded it out, and they're moving on.
It was fun to watch, like without a doubt. And I think what was just crazy about it is as soon as that game finalizes, that the last seed's moving on. So they automatically get Vermont. By the time
and we were like, nope, Vermont's going to get the Wizards or the Wolves. No, they're not. That is not the case.
I'm sure Jim was thinking at home like, oh, yeah, yep, let's take a little spin around here. Get a new game.
Let's take a step back. Let's reevaluate.
Yeah.
That's just wild.
It is.
And by the time the puck had dropped for the Wolves-Wizards game, right, which was maybe an hour later, right?
Yeah, not even.
I already had the schedule posted for the Lumberjack Spartan series. Like, we were just done. I'm like, oh, okay. Like, because Jimmy had the 3 dates in a row set, and I called Brett, and I said, Brett, this is what he's got. And he goes, that's what he's got. We're ready. I was like, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, here we go.
It's not like like when you have teams that are going back and forth, you kind of have some more time to figure it out. Like the Seahawks and now Wizards, not to, I'm sure people saw the Wizards beat the Wolves. Like they're going back and forth still because they're trying to figure out, if Bill starts this day down there, Freddie will go this day at home and vice versa. Going to Vermont, not to say that Brett has no say, but it's kind of like, you're going there for all three. So it's a little bit dictated by whatever Jimmy's got.
Right. Saturday, Sunday, Monday.
That's why we love hockey, though. Oh, man, I can't believe it. It is. I mean, like you see it in the NHL all the time, right? Not all the time, but most years there's that 7th or 8th seed that knocks off. I know we don't want to bring it up on the podcast because we have a certain league staff member.
Hey, didn't I bring this up like yesterday?
Oh, there she goes. That was Brittany, not me. Here we go.
Columbus.
Oh, they were the 8th seed last year. That's right. And then they beat the.
I don't know. I was fired up though.
Tampa Bay Lightning.
I'm obsessed with Artemi Panarin, and he was on Columbus last year. Now he's on the godforsaken, horrendous Rangers. Ew.
Dude, he's pushing those Rangers. We'll stop profiling the NHL playoffs.
I just upset everyone in the state of New York. I don't think I've ever. This is a random fact. Have you ever realized that like half the kids that play in this league are from New York? I feel like everyone and their mother is from New York.
It's a big state.
I didn't realize that.
No, like legit, so many kids are from New York.
How many players do we have from Maine, you think? As many?
Probably like a small handful. I can probably name
I'll tell you what, not enough.
I know. This is what I know.
Like
Andrew Keith, Rickett, and Drew Eade. I don't know who else. That's all I have.
Are from Maine or New York?
Maine. No, Maine. New York. Oh, Christ, that list's going to be enormous.
Well, when it comes to New York, I always kind of feel like upstate New York. Well, what's technically upstate and what's technically
there's like the Rochester Buffalo like group, and then there's like the Staten Island group, and then there's like
Long Island. Yeah.
And there's like the Albany group. Listen, everyone and their mother is from New York. I'm convinced.
Was back to the Wolves. Wizards. We're not a geography.
I was just thinking that made me think because Rob Hake, my pick, was from New York, or he's from New York.
I don't even want to talk about fantasy. I'm just going to skip that section. I'm going to slam my laptop shut.
But so we covered Seacoast versus the Express. It really was a good game. Like I know it's disappointing for Walpole. Yeah, the empty netter in, it makes it a 5-3 score, but really it's a 4-3 hockey game.
Disappointing for my fantasy team too, Neil.
Yes. And then,
so what happens when you go all Walpole and then just pick the wrong guys. So
Brittany had touched on the Wizards Wolves during her research before the last podcast, and of course, with all the different regular season games that they had, capped off by a 6-5 overtime. Of course, when it comes to hockey, through 40 minutes yesterday, we're scoreless. Like, of course.
I was like just waiting. I was waiting, and I was like, come on, let's go. DJ Schrank.
I watched the first couple of periods, and it was a lot of neutral zone activity. It was a lot of you take the puck, we take the puck. You take the puck, we take the puck. Recoil, enter the zone, turn it back out. It was a lot of like, all right, chess. It was like an old-fashioned playoff game. It was a chess match. Each team not wanting to make the first mistake, a couple of chances. Then all of a sudden things really got heated up. Schwenke hits a crossbar there at the end of the
my! You should have seen me in this exact spot in my kitchen yelling. I was like, come on!
But I knew, I mentioned before how with that Seacoast Walpole game, once Walpole hit the post on the stretch, you kind of knew, based off past hockey experience, what that meant. I knew that when we were scoreless after 40 minutes and the officials called me, the on-ice officials, in between the second and third period and said, what are the rules for the overtime just to make sure we're ready to go? I wanted to then say,
Jared
guys,
Matrano,
the game is not going to overtime now. And lo and behold, Chance Gorman scores early on in the frame.
Of course.
Scott, a few minutes later, gets what wound up being the game winner. Tommy Condon, I think it was, got the lone goal for the Wolves. It was pretty frantic at the end. The funniest.
Did you see like at the end when they were doing the handshake line?
No, what
happened? It got a little ratchet.
Ooh.
But that's fine. Continue.
Any Milan Lucic style handshakes? I'm gonna F you up next season. Good game. I'm gonna F you up next season.
Yes, there was one of those. I don't know who it was, but that's not the point.
I turned it off right after the Wolves broadcaster had a good call yesterday. But when the game ended, was quite depressed. So I kind of
he was. It was sad boy hour.
I was like, I have to turn this off. Like I don't nothing against the Wolves or him. I was just like I can't. Like he is like about to break down on the broadcast right now. So I didn't catch the handshake line. I had begun getting things lined up with Billy and Freddie, and Freddie goes, I'm kind of caught off guard because I didn't look at the Spartans Express score because he was more focused on his game first. And he goes, I really wasn't expecting to be hosting a playoff game. So it's nothing against Seacoast. That shows you how big of an upset that really was yesterday.
Yeah.
Like
everybody had look at us, all three of us, 0 for 3 in our picks. We all picked Walpole.
Seriously.
Well,
Bill's the only one.
I was gonna say.
You picked the Wizards, Neil. We get it. You're not a closet Wizards fan. You're a real people Wizards fan.
We had six total picks come out between the three of us. Only one point. Well, one person got one right.
Wow.
What a start. You know what, though? Even though Jeff, I'm going to take a shot. Brett's shots. Here we go. Even though my team was all Walpole, that was you. All Wolves, I managed to get 7-something points.
Is that shot at me because I got 1.6?
Right. Oliver Quinn, great game by him. He made great saves. You know, he really stood strong in the net for the Wolves.
And you guys all wanted the Falcon, and I was excited to take the Falcon.
Right?
Falcon and the boys. Oof.
It's
why they play the games, kids.
Yeah, exactly. It's why they play the games, and we're ready now for the first round.
That's it.
And here we are. First round.
In the New England.
I know we won't get into it, Neil, but the one-game format seems to be something that has been brought up as a controversial type thing. I know we won't touch on it too much, but
it's this simple, Jeff. If you win it, you like it. If you lose it, you hate it. Okay? Like, to me, okay, you want to do 6 of the 11 make the playoffs in the North, like 6 of the 8. Now 5 teams don't make the playoffs. Like, you're going to have a lot more meaningless games down the stretch.
Right.
To avoid a play-in game, you got to be in the top 4 out of 11. You got to be in the top 3rd.
Right.
Okay, that's really not bad odds. You know, if we went top 5 and then did 6-7 play-in game, maybe.
So the pulse around the league is that it is well liked between all the coaches. Like you're saying, obviously, Walpole's not going to be happy after losing yesterday, and any teams in the past aren't. But it is something that's strongly.
Yeah, no shot at Walpole, but say they're 3 points back at the Seahawks instead of 1 point. Is it any different then? No, it's because they were 1 point out and they knew they held the tiebreaker. And if they had just got that 1 point, it would have been different. It's tough. And Cody said it to me. Cody goes, "I'm nervous about this because the second you fall behind in a one gamer, you start gripping the stick too tight." And we had, not to tell too much about what happened in last year's owners meeting, but we had a lot of conversation about the playoffs. Like, we used to do 3 sets of best of 3, then the best of 5. That was the year before Providence. Mm-hmm. And the best of 5 lasted forever with the junior Flyers, little Flyers that year.
That was the year you went and then blah, blah, blah.
Yeah. But the thing is, what are you going to do? Do you want more regular season games? Do you want less regular season games? Do you want more value in the regular season? At the end of the day, if you're a team that even gets a first-round bye this year, right? Say you're the Rangers and you go the distance in everything that you possibly can. So your second-round series goes 3 games and you go to the finals. That's still 7 games in March. That's it. That's as much as you may play in February, but it's all packed into a tight schedule. So to me, I like the format that we have. You have to earn where you want to be in the playoffs. And I really think that while Cody is disappointed, I think that when a month goes by, he'll say to himself, it just means that you have to focus that much harder on the 46 regular season games that you have. We talk in this podcast all the time about this one game here, this one game there. Oh, they didn't show up to play. The points matter. The points really matter. We, in a way, we all counted the Seahawks out at one point, didn't we? We thought
we counted the Seahawks out. We counted the Avs out. We counted some people out.
Yeah. So
we counted some people out, and here they are. The Seacoast Spartans, we count them out. Look, here they are.
Yeah. So
someone said on our microphones. Hey guys.
Right. Hello.
Someone said, why don't you do 1 versus 8, 2, 7, 3, 6, 4, 5? So now you're going to add in 3 more games. I want our teams playing their best hockey when we get to Sunday, Championship Sunday, right? Imagine just hypothetically Rangers, right? Say they have to win a first-round series and then a second-round series, right, to get just to Providence. And then you got to play 4 games there. Now we're talking upwards of, 11 games or so in a 3-week span. How are those teams going to feel when they get to Sunday? So and then always the counter towards what we do with playoffs is, in college it's one game. All right, guys, there's your one game yesterday. There's your one. And for Walpole, that puck doesn't hit the post off. I think it was McDonald in the third period, and they go to overtime.
Yeah, I think it was.
They go to overtime. What happens then? So I get it. I there's always two sides to everything, but you got to give credit where it's due to Seacoast. You got to give credit where it's due to the Wizards. It's a matter of, like Brittany said, you got to peak perfectly at the right time. The 87s last year clinched the.
Dude, I feel like last year we were like, see the 87s in Providence. Yeah. And then it was like, wait, hold on. We're getting ahead of ourselves.
Look at the Little Flyers last year. They were a wagon.
They were gross. Like, they were actually gross.
Yeah.
But they only had to play 2 games leading up to Providence, right? Because they had a first-round bye. They swept the Revolution, and then they were in Providence. And even still, by the Sunday – this is nothing against the Little Flyers. Like Catshot said, we're gassed.
Yeah.
That's 6 games.
I think it's good that this year we have Friday off.
Yes. I mean, I think that will definitely help. I mean, you know what my dream scenario is, of course. You said it the other day. The dream scenario is we show up Wednesday and one conference wins both games, right?
Neil from the north, if you know, you know. No. Hey, what's up, dude?
One conference wins both games. Thursday, the other conference wins both games. So now at the banquet, I could say, going into Saturday, we have 2 semifinals in a row for the Premier. Winners go on. And then, obviously, we always save our conference matchups for the EHL to Saturday. So say everyone's 1-1. Now, the winners from those games go on. Dream scenario.
Yeah, that will not happen. Just because you want it to happen, it will not.
A boy can
That's
dream.
what happens all the time. Me and Neil will be like, okay, we want this to happen. And then it's like the complete opposite happens. Like, oh, okay, it's gonna be like that. All right.
Especially in sports, you know that exactly how you want it to happen. It's gonna go usually the opposite way or somewhere in the middle or
right.
Yeah. So just so we can put ourselves out there, everyone can come at our throats. So that means that this year's Frozen Finals teams will be the Spartans, the Wizards, the Junior Flyers, and fill in the fourth one, Brittany.
And
Team Maryland.
Team Maryland.
Well,
there you go.
What? Little Flyers.
No.
Little Flyers. LF. Guys, imagine I would scream.
We'd all look at each other just like, what?
Huh? That's interesting.
What?
So I was going to
happened.
The best part of today so far, Thursday of playoff week, we're at March 5th. I had not received a phone call yet. I know that seems drastic because it's not even 9 a.m., but I have now my first missed call of the day. Brittany, you can imagine who already called me.
Chris Torella.
Close.
Rich DiCaprio.
I love how you knew it. When I say close, you're like, oh, yeah, done.
The other half.
But anyway, so now round matchups.
Here we go.
We got Lumberjacks, Spartans, Saturday, Sunday, Monday. Who you got?
Jimmy and the Jacks.
Jimmy and the Jacks as well. And I think it's a clean sweep, 2 games.
I do as well. Sorry, Seacoast.
I think we get to Monday. I
really don't.
Neil's Mr. Game 3, everybody. When we did our predictions last night.
I'm just saying, when you play in Vermont, you're in for it.
A frozen tundra that is Letty Arena.
Everyone says it. Everyone says playing in Vermont. I don't know if I can say this word. Stinks. I'm not gonna say the other word. Everyone says it. No one
Letty Arena too cold, or
no? I could give a reason, but again, we don't need to get into that.
It's
the travel.
It's 3 hours north.
Right.
As Brittany,
Seacoast is at least up there.
Yeah, I mean,
at least there are there.
You're going from some decent foliage here in New Hampshire to some beautiful foliage in Vermont. As
leaf peeping.
Yes, exactly. But I'm gonna say 3 games. I think that Seacoast wins game 1 also, and I think it gets like, oh my god, like because that's where it gets.
Team going on a run.
These best of 3 series get so interesting because like say you lose game 1. you go to bed at night thinking like this could end tomorrow. I'm sure the same way, Walpole or the Wizards or the Wolves went to bed on Tuesday night. Like, we have a play-in game. This could end tomorrow. Like, think about how hard you work all year, 7 months, and then the season just comes to an end just like that, snap of your fingers. But the three of us are all taking the Lumberjacks to advance. So why don't we just stay right where we're at? And we didn't finish the bracket last night. We're going to finish it right now. Lumberjacks, Avalanche. Who you got?
Roll. See you guys at the ice den. Let's go.
This is not
Bring
fair.
it.
I don't like this.
Bring it to the ice den. Oh, I can't wait. Oh my God. I can't wait. Second round, Chris Sorella. I'm sorry. I'm getting really fired up right now. I'm going to stop.
Yeah. Well, your face is like red.
Yeah. Oh my God. No, bring this party to the den. Bring it on, folks. Oh man, I'm ready. Matt Lane, here we go.
I had said to you guys that we were going to finish the bracket, then I fell asleep last night. So
yeah, for real. Me and Justin.
So here we are, mid-episode.
Me and Justin were like, "Hello, is anyone else up?"
I know. I was still up too, and then I was just like, "Oh, I guess we're all fading out." All right.
I think
I can't wait for Vermont.
All right. Well, Jeff, while you still ponder and think, Brittany, how many?
I don't know. I don't want to choose that series.
How many games? Lumberjacks, Avalanche.
No, it will go 3.
Okay.
That has to go 3 either way.
Yeah, no, they're not gonna. No, I don't think it's gonna be clean sweep. It will go 3, but for year 3, we will have your New Hampshire Avalanche in the finals, and that's the tea, sis. I said that yesterday, and then I got quoted that I said that.
So, fill in one of the puzzle pieces for Brittany. Avalanche in 3 over the Lumberjacks.
Yeah, for sure.
Jeff?
I'm chewing on my tongue. I really don't know. This is, oh, man.
I just think that with the additions of the Avalanche since the trade deadline and how they've been playing, I just do not foresee.
Rich history.
Right. I just don't foresee them not making it. They have that group of returners from last year. They know what they have to do to get there. They've, like, kids on that team, like I just said, have already won. They know what it takes to get there. So Vermont doesn't. Listen, they got knocked out 2 years in a row by the Wizards. Or is that what it was, Neil? Yes. So I don't know. I just have a strong inkling.
But Brittany, if you want to play devil's advocate, because they've got knocked out, maybe that taste is still fresh in their mouths. You got a lot of veteran guys, the Logan Descanios, Buffleen. You got a lot of Dave Raduzzi.
And Jimmy wanted the Wizards. He told me last night.
Well,
Did he?
Sorry, Jimmy.
He said because of history the past 2 years. I said because you're also 4-0-0 against them this season, regular season, and you weren't
that might help
against the Wolves. He goes, yeah, that means something too. But I wanted to face them to try and get some revenge. I go, okay,
yeah. So that's the kind of flip side of it. I could see Vermont getting real angry and like, hey, we know everyone, and you want to take down the Avalanche.
All games will also be at the Den.
Mm-hmm.
That's
true. Jeff, so just so we could help you out, I'm going to take the Avalanche in 3 also. So now it's really your turn.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, come on, Jeff.
So let's see. I love Sorella. Love Mario. Love that team. Great team. Jacks. Jimmy and the
Vermont.
Jacks. Love them too. I think I might pick Vermont in 3. Maybe I'm going to go against the grain and be the one different person and pick Vermont in 3. And we're not going to see the Avalanche for the first time in the Frozen Finals. Sorry, Chris.
We'll see him at the banquet.
All right, you heard it here. You heard it here, ladies and gents.
So the other side.
Right. So continuing along.
I want to mull that more. Can we please? Give me more time.
I'm just so fired up for that series. I can't wait.
There's just too much parity in this league this year. It's stressful.
Here's what
so
I'll
for
say.
us, and we're not even coaching. We don't own any teams. Yeah. Work for the league, and it's stressing me out.
Here's what I'll say is we did – if you got the play-in game right, you got 2 points. If you got both right, you got obviously 2 and 2, and then an extra 1-5 for getting both right, right? Here's what I'll say.
None of us qualified.
For the first round series, for every win our picks get, so we all just pick the Lumberjacks, we each get 2 points, right?
No, you picked the Avalanche. I picked the
Lumberjacks. No, I'm talking about just the first round series.
Oh, gotcha. Okay.
So if the Lumberjacks win a game, we all get 2 points. They win a second game, we all get 2 points. If they do it in the 2 games that you each think that they're going to do it, you guys get the additional bonus point, the 5th point. If they do it in the 3 games that I think it's going to be, I get the 5th point. Well, then if something crazy happens, we'll reset our second round picks next week.
Okay.
That being said,
fair enough.
Seahawks, Wizards.
Who you got?
Wizards fan 1, 2, 3, Brittany. I'm going with the Wizards.
I am not.
Does Neil have his Wiz Kid shorts on?
Yeah.
I am going to say Wizards in 3. I thought about 2 for a while, but I am going to say 3.
All right. I'm going Bill Zanabeauty, as I like to call him, in 3.
Okay.
And
Jeff?
I made a new one last night. Brittany wasn't too big of a fan of it. The Xana Hawks. So easy. Xanaboni, you can kind of
drug.
Brittany goes, it sounds like a drug you pick up in Dorchester.
It does.
All right. The Xana Hawks. So I'm going Big Bill and Zanaboni and the Seahawks in 3.
So now let's keep going on. Rangers versus either in this situation would either be Wizards or Seahawks.
BJR, Ketcha, and Prov.
Yeah, I think we'll clean slip across the board. Rangers, and I'm gonna say though, it takes them 3 games, whoever they have to face.
Me too, because remember last year, was it playoffs last year? BJR Seahawks, right? Yeah, it was.
Yeah, but it was a sweep last year.
Was it?
Yeah.
I think they might be a little rusty. A lot of time off. They might drop
game 1. They could drop
game 1's the game you start to try to feel your momentum again. Get the grease
I think it will take them 3, but they will prevail.
Okay.
Yep, I think so too.
We agree there. What we'll say though is we have our picks locked in for the first round. If we need to reset after the first round ends, we'll repick for the second round. But in our opinions, Brittany and I both agree Avalanche Rangers as the North teams going to Providence, and Jeff says Lumberjacks Rangers. To the south we go. To the south
we go.
And we'll start with the 3-6 matchup, and I do have to pass along our condolences to the Domish family. Some tragic news came out this week about Jerry's son, Jeremy, who passed away. So they'll be playing with heavy hearts this weekend. And for Jerry, it's going to be tough, I'm sure. But I think they will play inspired hockey. And that's why I think that it will at least go to game 3 with the Rough Riders. I do think the Rough Riders have a little bit more talent than the Junior Flyers, and ultimately that puts them over the edge in the third game. But I think that the Junior Flyers I think that all 3 games will be 1 goal. I think it'll be that close.
Yeah, I do. It will go 3 games. I think 1 game might be maybe a 2-goal, not counting if any empty nets get scored. But I do think the Junior Flyers, like you said, will win a game.
Yeah, and absolutely. We all love Jerry here. Jerry's a class act, and definitely.
Jerry's great.
Well said, Neil. It's our condolences all go out. I was shocked when I saw that news yesterday on the league Instagram page, and you got to hope that they can just turn it around, use it as a little bit of a silver lining and a motivator to really just go out with massive, go out on a really good streak and win some games and try to go on a run and use this as a motivator. That's what you have to do in tough times like that. And Jerry's a really good coach, and that's a team that's got quite a few veterans on it. And you hope that they can make some noise. And I think that they will against Connecticut. Like you said, I think ultimately Connecticut has a little too much top-end talent, more top-end talent than Philadelphia does. And I think they'll end up winning in probably a tight 3-game series as well.
Okay, so who wants to start then? Rough Riders versus Revolution. Trip to the Frozen Finals on the line.
Rev. I'm saying the Revolutions. Stephen Brown, I know you hype me often, and you might not after you hear that. But I don't know. I mean, it's hard because you have Andrew Bella, which is and Gray Owens, which are the 2 driving forces, in my opinion, behind that team.
Well, I'll let you guys think about this for a second. I'm going to say Rough Riders in 3 games.
Ooh, Neil. I still think Rev.
And the Revolution Road team that's been there a
know.
lot of times in the spring.
How many games?
I don't know.
And they're in their last run, too. You got to think about that.
Right.
This is it for the Philly Rev EHL team.
I think there's plus sides to both. Each team. I think that the Rev has stronger goaltending.
I'm signing off. I don't want to pick any of these games. I'm out. See you guys. It's stressful. It is.
I don't know. Neil, do you agree with my statement?
I think the Rev. If I had to put Del Tufo up against, I think it's Del Tufo who they're going to lean on in the playoffs. Right. Del Tufo against Stewart or Turner or Ledeck. I would probably pick Del Tufo. I agree. I think the Rough Riders have higher end talent of their top stars. I think their top stars are better than Revolution top stars.
But I feel like Rev has a little more depth.
Yep,
I think Ishizuka is one of the more underrated guys in this league right now too. I like him a lot. I've called a lot of their games to the showcases. That kid can fly.
Keep in mind that every game would be
Ishizuka and Little Bella are underrated. I feel like Little Bella flies under the radar.
Just keep in mind every game would be at the Revolution.
OT.
Ooh, that makes things interesting. Ooh.
I'm just picturing Chris Canale calling the games. Oh my god.
Does Chris call their games?
He calls
sometimes,
but under an alter ego. Next.
Under an alias. It's so funny. Jeff, I'm gonna have to send you the mix that the kids made, and it's just a compilation of
I'm down.
Canale's alter ego. It's the funniest thing. I'm gonna send it to you after this, but it's
sounds good. I'm gonna say Rough Riders 3-2, by the way, Neil.
Okay, so I'm gonna be the one Rev gal here. All right, Rev in 3.
You haven't said a number yet. Oh, 3. Okay.
3. I just said 3. Chris Canale. I want a text that said you're welcome. Thanks.
So we all agree Rough Riders beat the Junior Flyers in 3. We all think the next series is going to go 3. But I say Rough Riders, and so does Jeff. And Brittany says Revolution. I think we all agree the Maryland Little Flyers first round series will go 3.
Yes.
That should be a good one.
And
that's definitely going to be a good one.
And we're all picking Maryland.
We're all picking Maryland.
I like Maryland. I like Maryland this year. They have, obviously, they got Josh Fusco, the Wilkes. They have that, Wilkes-Barre Scranton Knights feel to their roster.
Oh, for sure. I mean, they do have a few Wilkes-Barre kids.
For them. Holy heck. That kid's been on fire since.
Adam's a little silly for trading him away, but, whatever.
Oh, here comes Brittany's hot takes of the week.
No, I'm just sorry.
But they said that he just didn't fit in there. I think it's one of those things that, and I think it was Anthony DePaulo that was talking to us about this at the Exeter showcase. That Adam and Matt said that they knew he was a great hockey player. His style just didn't fit what they wanted to do offensively. And then obviously Josh having him in Wilkes-Barre the last couple of years said, hey, I know how to use you. I know how to put you into this team. He did, and it just kind of worked. I don't think
their team clicks for sure.
Yeah, they do.
And that sets the table for Hooley, Kiernan, and the 87s versus Josh Fusco again.
Again on the road to – oh, man.
Speaking of revenge.
Yeah, legit though.
The 87s
and that series got heinous at the end.
It was a little bit heated at the end. That's for sure.
As every good hockey playoff should be. I feel like
I think that the 87s and they know that that's that could happen. So I don't see them not being in Providence. If they go down to Fusco 2 years in a row, Middletown Ice World, whatever it is called, is going to explode.
And the best thing that Adam said to me yesterday is he actually went and put on the Seacoast versus Express game during their video session, and so that the whole team could watch it. And he just showed his team and said, all right, you guys, you want to wake up now just so you can see? It could happen to anybody. Happened to you last year. Happened to them right now. It could happen to anybody. The one
I feel like right now their team is just yep, we're in first. We're reeling around this joint.
Yeah. The big difference for Josh Fusco's team last year Wilkes-Barre, this year Maryland, is Jeff's favorite player in the history of the EHL, Thomas Walker. So
Thomas Walker.
There's
right. They don't have a Thomas Walker.
He's at college now. I think that's
Albertus
the difference.
Magnus.
And that's why I would say 87s and 2.
Me too. Ooh. A sweep. Ian Greif is just killing it.
I kind of want to lean towards that too, but I feel like it's crazy when we all pick the same way as we saw yesterday.
Right. I don't know.
I'll go 87s and 2. I'll go 87s and 2.
They're just
That's a loaded team.
Deep. They are deep, and Ian Greif is unbelievable.
And you have two really good veteran coaching staffs. Not that Adam and Matt are better than Josh. I just think that what we were saying and like having the conversations with Adam and Matt during the season, I think that they're like laser focused on the goal at hand, and their team is also pretty loaded as well. So I think that combination is a deadly combination that will result in hopefully a deep playoff run for the Jersey 87 boys.
Yeah.
So here's
what
we'll do.
Go ahead.
I was going to say, if the first round goes the way that we all think it will go, basically, with the exception of one pick, which is the Wizards Seahawks, but if the other 3 series go the way we imagine and the matchups all kind of stick as is for the second round, I'll just submit the notes I just took to Justin and submit them over to him. But knowing our luck,
it's gonna
we'll have to kind of reset a few picks before the second round. But like I said,
absolutely,
for every win that our picks get in the first round, it's 2 points. And if they win the series in the amount of games that we're saying they will, it's the additional 1 point. So, to pat myself on the back, got the only 2 points for picking a win from the play-in round. I would imagine that I don't get the only 2 points here in the second round. So we'll see how these series play out. I mean, it's going to be interesting for everyone involved. For the Lumberjacks, having not played since the 23rd, but now knowing they're in the first round, they're at home against Seacoast, just all the way down. Wizards, shocked they have a home game. I'm shocked they have a home game that I get to call. So, I wasn't expecting that. I had told Vicky had asked me because she goes, "You got any games to call this week?" And I go, "I don't think so." Well, now I do. So
cancel those plans, Neil. Sorry, buddy. Sorry, Vic.
She understands though that the next 3 weeks are a little bit nutty. But like I said, I don't know when we're going to record next week's podcast.
Be on standby.
Yeah, it's kind of a matter of when the series end. It's also tough with the Premier also. So in the Premier North, the first round series that are coming up this weekend are the Wolves Lumberjacks, which is Saturday, Sunday, Monday, just like the Lumberjacks Spartans. Only difference is the EHL team for the Lumberjacks is all at home, and the EHLP team for the Lumberjacks is all on the road, but whatever. The Railers and Express still trying to schedule their series right now as we work on this podcast. That one probably will stretch out a little bit into the week, I would imagine. And then it's kind of awkward because we already have the dates now for the 87s Renegades and Revolution Little Flyers, those second round series technically. And those series may start while the North first round series are still ending. So it's going to get a little bit confusing here. I would imagine that we're going to probably try and record the next podcast around this time a week from today. I would, if you want to kind of pencil in Thursday on your calendars. But we're not finished yet on the podcast.
Thursday, 5:30 a.m. See you guys there.
I would cry. I would literally come on this podcast crying.
We're not finished yet, though. It's time
for
our favorite segment. It's what to watch. It's what to watch for.
Before we wrap things up, here's what to watch for this week in the E-Show.
And what to watch for, Brittany, includes fantasy. And Jeff, we'll touch on it in about 3 seconds total time.
Are we still talking? I don't know.
It wasn't the play-in round that you wanted it to be. Falcons at 1.6. That's it. Your picks.
Thanks, buddy. Thanks, Toby. Thanks, Choo-Choo's. Choo-Choo down.
Derailed.
Shoot you down.
Derailed. Ooh. That's it. That's a good one.
True story. I was derailed. I believed in the boys from Walpole on Route 1, and it wasn't their day.
So
we
now,
still love them.
Get back on track with your first round picks. Who are they?
So we're, like I said to you guys last night, we're going back to the well because I believe these were our first ever fantasy picks, if I remember correctly. Starting from the back on out, so we'll go in between the pipes with Mr. David Raduzzi. Hoping for big things from Big Dave. I'm pretty sure the first time I picked him, he got me 2 wins and about 77 saves. So that's what we're hoping this time. Maybe 2 wins and 90 saves would be good. Thank you, Dave. Appreciate it. Get Pepper.
And then I picked him, and he didn't do that. But anyways.
But now he's back on Team Jeff Britt, so he'll be fine. He's going to excel.
Yeah, maybe. Who knows?
Then we got, I believe you picked him actually before, Neil, on defense. Gray Owens from the Connecticut Rough Riders, big power play guy, big offensive defenseman, hoping for some big things from Gray. And last but certainly not least, Mr. Logan Descanio. You just gotta go with the top points man in the EHL, and Logan knows how to put pucks in the back of the net. We're hoping that maybe he gets like 6, 7, 8, maybe 10 goals in the series. Who knows?
Whoa!
Probably not record.
Hey! And
but for you, Jeff, with your picks, if they don't put up points, you kind of can say like, what else could I do? They're all candidates for MVP forward of the year in Descanio, candidate for defenseman of the year, candidate for goalie of the year. I can't pick anything else. Like
right.
That's
why I tried to make it exactly, Neil. I tried to not get sexy and creative this week. I just went go with the chalk, go with the paper, go with simple. I need points. I think you three have the best probability and chances of getting me those points. Let's go.
Let's go.
Brittany, your turn.
All right. Well, I was going to pick Gray Owens and David Raduzzi, but Jeff stole them. So I had to go back. Yeah. I had to go back to the drawing board. So, yeah, for real, except it won't be Mary Lou's, but that's fine. So in goal, I'm going with Zach Richards from Team Maryland. Again, and when you look at the goalies that were left after that, like I said, I don't know. The goaltending for the Rough Riders, I don't know.
Ryan Stewart?
Well, it's funny because we all wanted the Falcon in the play-in round.
Yeah, I know.
Right, that's true.
Don't go with your gut, and like we said, playoffs, new season. Don't look at those season stats.
I don't know. That just wasn't for me. The Seahawks, I have no idea who Bill is playing, so I was like, well, I have no idea. So we're going to go with Team Maryland here because we all picked them to win, so I don't know. We're going to run with it. And then I was like, okay, now who am I going to pick on defense because I wanted Gray Owens. And then I had another option, but I was told not to go with said option by undisclosed source. Moving on. So then I was like, all right, Corey Doney, EHL All-Star, possible defenseman of the year. He is, in fact, a candidate. So we're picking Corey Doney.
Corey Doney, Neil Ravin's nephew.
Neil Ravin's husband. Not even. So, I don't know.
Uncle
Neil. Oh, my God. I love when they say that. It's really funny. But he got Neil 0 points before. So, I don't know. We're kind of risking it here. And then I'm going – right, they're definitely in a fight. Then I'm going, again, from Team Maryland. Alo hates these picks. Sorry, Alo. You're my dog. But Tristan Mock, another EHL All-Star. I picked him before. He got me some points. I don't know. Let's light it up, kid.
And I will wrap things up because I had the best play-in round.
Back in first place, the commissioner. Yep, that was fun. Thanks for giving it to me for a week, Neil. That was fun.
Yeah, it came really just from the Gorman goal that he had and then a win for Weimer. That's really all the difference was those two guys. And
did you make sure you went back to the tape, though, and it wasn't Harley? We
yes.
Okay.
100%. 100%.
Even though Harley didn't Harley led the line when they went.
No, he didn't.
Yeah, he did. I already watched it.
Separate bet, off-air bet. Anyways.
Sorry.
Continuing.
For the third week in a row, where's my Chance Gorman jersey? It's somewhere over here.
For real. You should buy that off. You should buy that off of Freddie when the season's over, for Christ's sake.
$20. He'd be like, higher.
50.
But I'm going to stick with the kid that's in – it's only been 3 games, right? If I go back to how many total games he's actually played when I've picked him, it's been 3 games, and he's got 15 fantasy points for me. So, to the well we go, Jeff, with Chance Gorman.
Wise move.
I was pretty rattled when I got to the defenseman pick because I had Owens and then Doney.
We all are. Oh.
So, I was pretty rattled.
Neil's gotten someone stolen from him every week.
We're going to go with Evan Beers this week. He gets just as much power play time, I would imagine, as Corey Doney does against Seacoast. And by the time I got to goalies, it's like we always say, on paper, these guys are probably the favorites, right? The Raduzis and the Richards. And from there, is there anyone that you could feel as confident in? Probably not. But I'm going to go with Ryan Stewart. I think he'll get the call in net. That means that they'll play Turner all 3 games or somebody else.
Oh, I hope so. Wouldn't that be good?
But I'm going to go with Ryan Stewart. I think as the 99 veteran on the team, he's the only 99 goaltender. I think that they'll at least give him game 1 to kind of try and say, like, hey, you want this to be your postseason, go get it right now. And
if you don't know, he plays for the Hosses, a.k.a. the Rough Riders.
What a Hoss.
I'm going to go with him. And what's really – really interesting and fun about this week is I begin with 163.8, Jeff 150.0, so an even 150, Britt 133.6. Keep in mind, wherever we finish this week, next week is the last week.
Right, we're doing second round, no Providence.
No Providence. So the picks are included, of course. I got the 2 points extra for the Wizards win.
All gas, no break, kids.
You guys want to knowing our fantasy,
Brittany's going to win.
Brittany will go off for like 30 points this week, right?
I know. Tristan Mock, let's turn it up.
Yeah, Brittany will get like 37, right? Jeff will get like 20, and I'll get 7, and then we'll be like, oh, great, we're all at 170 going into the last week.
Oh, let's do it.
I'm ready. So. I'm ready for another Avalanche type week.
Okay. Well, the differing points that you guys could have over me come first and foremost in that Wizards Seahawks pick.
True.
That's 2 points right there if the Seahawks win that series. And then, of course, I think that we did a decent job not coordinating it, but our picks are kind of spread out amongst the teams involved. So let's see what happens.
Yeah, let's see. I'm stressed.
Stay tuned.
You're stressed. Why are you stressed?
Because it's just like, I don't know. It's like we said, like this year, maybe it's like the podcast is just adding like an extra element into it. But all 3 of us have been around the EHL for years. And I think it's just more this season, like the way this league has just so much parity. And each showcase we've been at, regular season games, it's just, yes, there's a lot of the junior Rangers, the 87s, the Avalanche, all those top end teams that finished at the top were great, but everybody was, and we just saw that's why it was perfect that Seacoast ended up knocking off Walpole, because that just shows you the parity that's in this league. And it's just kind of, I don't know, it's just a little extra stress this year because there aren't that, just those 2 teams that you think we're just going to run away with it. Everybody has a chance.
And
I'm stressed.
We didn't even talk about this. I thought it was going to be Baresi and goal the entire time.
Nope.
Fournier plays 36 saves. Let's go on to the next round. Like, what?
And he played, what was it, the second or third game of that series? I'm pretty sure he got lit up in the game that he played.
Oh my God. Jeff's shots of the week. He got lit up.
Oh no, he had 39 saves on 44 shots. But that was
got lit up.
They lost 5-3 at Rodman. Seacoast did. That was the third game of the season. So not lit up. He made a lot of saves, but he still gave up 5 goals. So
the key number that I always look at, and I think that some of our coaches will back me on this, is when the save percentage from a game is 900 or lower, you're not going to win that game most often.
No.
When it's above 900, you're going to win that game 9 times out of 10. And that was the difference. That was the difference yesterday in the two games. I mean, nothing against the way Oliver Quinn played, but that, like, imagine if he had won that game for Brittany. Brittany would have been the top fantasy player of the week. He had 36 saves. So that's why I say 9 times out of 10. He had 947 save percentage yesterday. Like,
yeah, he played great yesterday.
He couldn't do.
That's an excellent number.
And we thought going into it, like, who was it going to be, LJ Newell or Oliver Quinn? You had to do your behind the scenes source texting to find out who it would be.
Right.
Clearly, they got it right. They got it right. So
obviously, come on now. My sources don't lie.
Oh my god.
Listen, they didn't lie. All I know is that Oliver Quinn put on a hell of a show yesterday.
But you are a good source person, so can we figure out where TB12 is going to be playing next year? Do you want to get on the horn and start working that angle for us?
Thank you. Patriots. Blech.
Oh,
gross.
Ouch. Oh,
horrible.
We won't dig into that. We'll just let that go.
Yeah. Well, we have a few more games that I have to add to the website here, but for all the fans at home, I would call it 90% done. First round games on the website, so you can check it out. You can start to plan out your weekends. Brittany can start to plan out which penalty box she wants to sit in and watch the action from. No, you sat up top. You sat up top yesterday. I'm sorry.
Yeah, yesterday I sat in the gym.
Hey, all that time you spent in the penalty boxes, you never had a puck hit you, though. That's a good thing.
No.
Did it come close?
Don't jinx it, Neil. Don't jinx
it.
I almost got hit at the Avalanche a few weeks ago, Jeff. You know how high up we stand there?
Oh, yeah.
It hit the glass behind me. I was like,
When? I don't remember that.
Well,
That's
when I look over to you during games, you're looking down the entire time at the clock. So,
yeah, either that or me and Matt Gagnon are just like having a dance party.
This is what they do, Jeff. Like this. What next song should we play?
Oh my god, dude, we get
this one's fire. Play this one.
You should have seen me scoring the Avalanche P game. If you know what TikTok is, for all you not old people, we were playing TikTok songs and we were doing the TikTok dances in the penalty box. It was quite a time.
Now that we've called out old people, we'll end the podcast.
Jeez, we just lost a huge demographic. Thanks for it.
They all signed off.
Go download TikTok right now, everybody. You won't regret it.
Yeah, it's gonna last as long as Vine did, Jeff. So we'll move on from that.
Fine. All right, P. That thing's toast.
But we're ready. We're ready for the first round. I think every series has the potential to go 3 games. I know that you guys didn't pick that. But I think every series has the potential to go 3 games. They're all going to be fun to watch if you can't make them in person. They're all on Hockey TV. And about a week from now, that number of total teams is going to take a big hit.
Swan dive.
So we're going to go down from, 22. I'm trying to do quick math here. Brittany, you want to do this for me or no?
Nope, math is not for me.
Wait, didn't you say the other night was a 22-8?
No, that's in 2 weeks.
Oh, that's the 2 weeks.
We're going to lose 4 teams in the EHL this week and 4 teams in the EHLP. So that will mean this time next week we'll be down to 14 teams.
Whack.
It's nuts.
Less than half the league.
It's nuts.
Will be gone.
Less than half the league will be gone, and it means we're going to be that much closer to Providence. So enjoy all the games this weekend / week, whenever the first round ends. It could be a week.
Who knows?
But enjoy all the games. We'll take a brief hiatus from our next podcast for about a week or so. But get ready. Providence is right around the corner.
Woohoo, here we go. Turn it on.
Talk to you guys later.
All right, see you guys.
Thanks for listening to The E-Show. Learn more at easternhockeyleague.org. And follow us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and YouTube. Also, be sure to subscribe and get notified when next week's podcast is released.